So, being single and a targeted individual, part 3. So, I stopped trusting people because of that. And I think a lot of people were like, oh, she's just not over it. She's just not over it. And it's like, no, like I said, I'll write a little bit about it in my book, but my book is not about him. And it's not about the experience that I had with him either. My book is about me and the experiences that I've had growing up and, what has happened with me as I've grown and evolved as a woman. Let me push this back a little bit so you guys can see. There we go. So, but it doesn't have much to do with my relationships or anything like that. Anyway, so I made the decision to stay single, and if I wanted to like choose someone to like date or something like that, then I would do that. But I never really felt like I wanted to. I never felt the desire to um, get into another relationship. I just never met that person. I just didn't care enough about relationships, romantic relationships. To make time for them because I was busy raising my children, working, going to school, just living my life. And it was tough. I had a lot going on because I was a targeted individual. I had people, they would come and tamper with my car. They would always create delays and stuff like that and everything I was trying to do. It was always a thing, no matter what, so I was dealing with a lot of things and it was, I just didn't feel like I wanted to put that as a burden on someone else, even if that person, because I'm such a lovable individual. I'm such a lovable individual that, I'm like, I don't want, to like get into a situation and like fall in love and this person falls in love with me. And then all of a sudden, all this weird shit is happening in the background. Like, that is not it. So I don't know. I guess I just decided to stay by myself, and like I said before in part 2, never was promiscuous, never was boy crazy, never was like, I did wonder like why I was still single during the times that I didn't want to be single, because I didn't want to be single for, if it's 15 years now, I didn't want to be single for maybe like 3 or 4 years out of that 15 years. After year 3 or 4 being single, and I started, like, peeping stuff and be like, wait a minute, like, girl, you kind of like, you got some work to do on yourself, but you okay now. You good, like, stay single for a little bit longer. And honey, that turned, that attitude turned into 15 years. So anyway, and a lot of people, they try to do little things like they try to match make or whatever with me. And I'm like, nah, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want anybody to feel like, oh my gosh, she hasn't been with anybody or whatever. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to just be like, and it's like, it doesn't work that way with me. It doesn't work that way with me. I'm a very particular woman. I'm not stuck in my ways. I'm very down to earth, but because of what I've been through and because of what I have to fight through every single day, I know that it would take a specific kind of a person, to wife me. And I'm not easy to wife either. Trust me, they've tried, so I don't know. It's just, how do you explain to someone that because they're with you, everything about them is going to be studied? And everywhere they go, they'll be followed. And everything they do, they'll be watched because they're with you. It's like I just never wanted to put that on anybody else. So I just kind of took on the burden and realized that there was a great chance that after I had left my kid's father, that I may never really experience love again. I knew that. I felt that. I was like, because I know I'm not gonna allow another person to do to me what he did, and then I'm also not willing to put somebody else in a situation where they may be studied like a damn, science project, right? So that's why I'm still single, because I am a targeted individual. And on top of that, I believe in healing, and I don't believe in, bringing baggage from one relationship to another relationship. I just don't believe in that. And even if you're coming from a relationship and you're trying to date, I still feel like you need to be healed. You need to make sure that you are healed, um, because even in dating, you'll find yourself kind of slipping into that protective mode, or that there's a particular mode. Somebody knows what I'm talking about out there. Somebody knows what I'm talking about. It's a particular mode, and you start seeing little things in people that you're dating, and you're like, it may be something completely harmless, but you'll look into it a completely different way because of what you've been through and because it traumatized you so much. Pause. I'm gonna get some sun. Hold on. Okay. So give me 1 second, y'all, because the sun is setting. It's like late in the evening. It's crazy. Anyway, it's like October 25th, and it's about 5 o'clock. It's about 5 o'clock. And so, yeah, I don't know. I felt the way, and I was just like, I'm not going to allow anybody else into that space. And then on top of that, once again, being a targeted individual, you'll find that they will send people to you. They'll send people to you so that they can get those people into your intimate spaces. And then those people will make up a bunch of lies about you, or they'll slander you, or they'll set you up in some bullshit or something like that, right? And it's like, damn, I don't really want to be a part of no shit like that. I don't even want to, contribute any time to that, right? That's why, another thing is, with being a targeted individual, is sometimes you have to deal with people coming into your home. And because I'm such a welcoming person and very hospitable, I want people to feel comfortable in my home. And so I will, go above and beyond for my house guests. And sometimes those house guests are, they've been sent. They'll be planted as a friend, or even a family member can be recruited, and then they come over and they're like spying, and and it's like, oh my goodness gracious, like I can't just trust anybody. I hate that. I hate that shit. And I'm like, dang, I can't just trust somebody. Like I can't even like leave you in my house and go to the store real quick. Like, so it creates, a lot of barriers when you are trying to trust and love, and even just something as casual as just dating. I never brought anyone to my home while I was in my earlier years of being single. I probably have brought, I'm definitely old school when it comes to being a single mom. We don't bring men in and out of our houses. That's what we do not do. We don't bring them we don't expose them babies to whoever we're dating. So I will say that my children, out of all of those years, they've met probably 2 people that I've dated. And I didn't really spend a lot of time dating. I spent my time focusing on me and my businesses and my children. And, like I keep saying that, but I'm like, no, I feel like I need to reiterate that, because there have been so many lies that have been put out about me, and people are like crazy talking shit, And so, I don't know. That's kind of how I feel about it. I just, being a targeted individual is tough. It is tough, and today I had to really check myself, because I was like, you know what? Those people are doing their jobs. You can't be angry with them, because you haven't figured out exactly who they are, why they're doing what they're doing. And another thing, I said, I was like, hold on one second. Excuse me, you guys, I had to take a little sip of something what I had going on. I am cleansing. I'm probably going to cleanse for the weekend and be on my herbs and stuff like that. I forgot what I was saying because I got, I had some things I had to do within those like couple seconds. I had to move my bag. I had to, reposition and take a sip. My shoes over there. Girl, it's a lot. So I think what I was getting ready to say was, you know how a man is when he falls in love with you, right? And he wants to protect you and defend you and, all these beautiful things that we love for them to do, right? So another thing that I've always been kind of reluctant about settling down while being a targeted individual has been because I don't want them to send someone to cause issues, or if he hears someone say something to me and then he gets upset because they've said something out of pocket to me, trying to trigger me. And this has been happening all my life with the harassment and the mess, right? And then all of a sudden it gets the person that I love into some shit. Make sense? I don't know. That's why it's like I don't want anybody to be in it. So for me, when people are like, oh my gosh, like, how can you go outside and be so like, you act like a man. You're already built with broad shoulders. You're already done gained your weight. And I'm like, I know, I love it. I love it. Don't you? Like, what you mean? What is there not to love? A little bit more, but I mean, So a lot of women in general, they're like, oh my gosh, put your makeup on, do this, do that. You're not supposed to be, how are you ever going to get married and it's like, well, that's not necessarily my goal. I used to think that was like something that I really, really wanted until I realized that everybody doesn't see marriage the same way. Everybody doesn't see marriage the same way. And so when I realized that, I kind of fell back from the possibility of marriage. You feel me? I said, if it happens, it happens, but it's not necessarily something that I am going to be like pursuing, And that happened. I made that decision while I was in LA, believe it or not. I made that decision while I was in LA, and I had been single for a long time at that point. I still had a desire to be married during that time. I can't remember how many years it had been that I had been single, but it was like going on like, I don't know, like maybe like 9 years or something like that, 9-10 years, something like that, right? I think it was 9 years because I stopped smoking cigarettes that year. And I smoked cigarettes for 9 years. And then one day I was just like, I'm cool. No, I'm good. Just out of nowhere. And then I started to detox my lungs. I went through the whole thing. That's one of the reasons why I still cleanse to this day. That's why I breathe heavy, because I smoked cigarettes for a really long time and I just don't have a desire to smoke cigarettes anymore. But aside from that, that's why, you guys, people want me to be like prissy, and I'm like, I'm naturally already prissy to a certain degree, but they want me to be desirable. They want me to like put forth effort to be desirable to men so that I can get married. And I'm like, I don't feel like I necessarily need that. I'm 40 plus years old. I've spent my life raising children, pouring into people, loving on myself, building. And then I had all of these other things happen within my life over the last 5 years. And it was intentional. People wanted to intentionally tear down what they had seen me build. And I had no idea that those people even existed. I knew that there were people doing things, but I didn't know that they felt so intense about me not having anything or not being able to like function out in the world in a, in a healthy way, that they would go to such great lengths to um like cause problems in my life. So I don't know. I think all of that just kind of working through that stuff, dealing with other things, um, people, being petty and simply just not liking you and not even realizing, like, girl, this confidence it's innate. You feel what I'm saying? It is an innate confidence. Somebody gonna make something out of that, but I promise you, it is very natural. It is not forced at all. And I am not looking to any man, woman, or anyone to validate who I am as a woman, as a person, as an individual, as a child of the Most High. I'm not looking for that. If it comes along, great. But if it doesn't, I'm cool. And I don't feel like I need to, do all these extra things just to adhere to, or excuse me, not to adhere, but to appeal to other people, men in particular. I look at it like this. If you don't like me looking like this, I ain't for you. Because the majority of the time, I'm going to look like this. And then when we go places, I mean, you feel me? We gotta, put that shit on, do our thing. You know what I'm saying? But a majority of the time, I'm gonna be looking like this. Especially if I'm running my own business, because I'm gonna be up throughout the night, up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, obsessed with my job, obsessed with my business, obsessed with my projects. So if you don't like a blemish or two, because I'm gonna have them. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You don't like new growth, because that's gonna happen. You don't like a little extra, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, go away, because that's me. You feel me? I don't know if it's just me being more comfortable in my skin as a woman that's a little seasoned, or if it's just that I have fully accepted that there is a great possibility that I may end up spending the rest of my life single and just dating and enjoying the company of people that I may want to get to know. But I don't know. I'm not interested in that, I guess, you know. Um, and then also the way that I'm seeing how people are treating marriage and relationships these days, they have no respect for each other. They have no respect for like what it means to truly be there, like loyalty, and they don't have no good grasp on that. And I noticed that. I saw it. I've seen it. We see it. Everybody sees it every day, you know? And I think that's one of the reasons why I'm like, I'm good, I'm good on that. Um, and like I said before, being, sorry, y'all, I literally just took my, I'm playing with my toes, y'all. I'm playing with my toes, okay? So I just took my toes. I just did something. I took my toenails off, y'all, because I do the acrylic and stuff, and so I'm like, whoo, Lord, I need to get those together. But yeah, that's how I feel, y'all, about that. So anyway, I'm not gonna continue going on. I think you guys kind of have an idea of why I felt a need to speak on being a targeted individual today. And then also, I've been noticing that people have been trying to play like matchmaker. And I'm like, let me explain to y'all exactly why I've been single for so long and why I have remained single and why I'll probably remain single for a long time. Who knows? I don't know. But it's because of trust issues. It's because I care about people and I don't want to put anybody's life in a situation or, I don't want to fuck up nobody's vibe just because these people fucking with me and my vibe. Make sense? But it doesn't have anything to do with self-esteem issues. I don't have none of that. Ain't none of that going on. Ain't none of that going on, y'all. But it just is what it is, you know? And until I fully understand what being a targeted individual is, instead of just kind of like having to pick up certain little experiences and apply that to whatever targeted individual handbook there may be, it's kind of like, let me figure that out and then, maybe I'll look into it. Then we have all of this other stuff that's going on too with people like, saying all these crazy things. And I just don't feel like clearing up any type of rumors. I don't feel like doing that. Then people lied on me something tough. They lied on me something tough. And I'm just, going on about my life. Child,